This is Grosswirth from Rochester, New York. If you follow the financial pages in your newspaper, I am sure you are aware by now that Eastman Kodak Company has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings. For those of us who live in Rochester, the news wasn't unexpected, but it was nevertheless sad because Eastman Kodak, after all, has played a very important role in Rochester's history. My family has a long history with Kodak, beginning with my late grandfather, Henry Grosswirth. He came to America from Hungary to settle here in Rochester, and throughout most of his working life, he was at Eastman Kodak. My father, Sidney Grosswirth, followed in his footsteps, and he spent 35 years at Eastman Kodak. I worked at Kodak in a summer job while I was in college, and my father was hoping that I would pursue a career at Kodak, but circumstances changed and I pursued other avenues. It's important to state that Kodak products have served me well throughout my life and continue to do so. What you see here is a 1934 camera that Kodak developed, and my grandfather had the privilege of testing this camera before it was patented. I'm happy to say that the camera still works, and on occasion I still take photos with it. In 1974, I began to experiment with movie film. And the camera I used that worked very well was this Super 8 model manufactured by Kodak. It was fun for me to experiment with all types of Super 8 films, and it was a thrill whenever I got the film back, after Kodak developed it, whereby I would display my so-called masterpieces on either a wall or a movie screen. My very first 35mm camera made by Kodak was this one. It was a very simple model whereby I inserted the 35mm film and had to manually wind it. Many of the pictures I took with that camera came out amazingly well, and I also took a lot of slides and still have a collection of my old Kodachrome slides that I would project on a screen or a wall. As we moved into the digital age, Kodak was on the cutting edge of this technology. One of the first digital cameras I used, of course, was made by Kodak. And this particular camera serves me well. In addition to this smaller model, I often take this with me, if I want to take some quick pictures at an event. For more professional photos, I use this particular Kodak model. It is a great camera, and I would hold it up against any of the other brands that you see in the marketplace. For quick videos, I use this Kodak model. It shoots in high definition or a regular format, and it works great. I'm not ready to stage a funeral for Kodak. It's my hope that through Chapter 11, they will be able to reorganize and focus on what they really do well, and something that I hope will continue to flourish is that of the motion picture enterprise that they have been engaged in for many years. They are one of the few manufacturers around today making motion picture film. It's my hope that Hollywood will continue to collaborate with Kodak, and this might be an avenue for their survival in the future. Kodak also has many patents that it developed over the years that it may be able to sell at a lucrative price. No matter what happens, I continue to pray for the best for Eastman Kodak. They've served us well in the past, and I believe they still have potential for the future.